tonight. The Stars shad over Texas as Fox Sports Net presents a special Friday night edition of College Football Saturday. With his sensational college career coming to a close, TCU Heisman Trophy candidate LaDainian Tomlinson takes to the gridiron once again to punish linemen, linebackers, and safeties. For the second year in a row, he is the nation's leading rusher. The senior has 21 touchdowns this season. He has over 5,000 career yards. He holds the NCAA single-game rushing record of 406 yards. Next, the SMU Mustangs prepare for battle against one of the premier running backs of all time and a defense that's #1 in the nation. A tall order for SMU, but that's the beauty of this game. On any given evening in Texas, on a grid of 100 yards, only two things are certain. The game will be played with honor, and one team will go home with bragging rights to this Dallas-Fort Worth intercity grudge match. TCU and SMU, now on Fox Sports Net.
For the first time since 1938, TCU has a chance to win 10 games in a season, and LaDainian Tomlinson has one more chance to impress the Heisman voters. TCU and SMU are on the way. Welcome inside the College Football Saturday studios for this special edition of College Football Saturday, alongside Kellen Winslow and Artie Gigantino. I'm Kevin Frazier. Kellen, you know, a lot of people forget that just 3 seasons ago, TCU was 1-10, the same team with LaDainian Tomlinson.
But that was before Dennis Franchione showed up at campus and realized that, hey, this kid is a great running back. We've got to get him the ball, and they've been doing that ever since. Every game this year, he's rushed for 100 yards. He's averaging 198 yards per game. He's elusive, he's quick, he's able to create, and when they run that option, Artie, he's dangerous.
Yes, he is. And, you know, this is going to be a very difficult game for SMU, but they have a chance to win this football game if they do a couple things. Number one, they got to swarm Tomlinson. By that, I mean they got to get 3 or 4 tacklers around him every time he touches the ball. They got to stay up on defense.
Stay up on defense.
TCU does a great job knocking defenders down. And lastly and not least, they got to protect Josh McCown, their quarterback, who has thrown 16 interceptions this year. If they can do those things, they will win the game.
I'm tired.
These two are out of their minds, and they're fired up for the game. We will return with scores and highlights on the Nissan Halftime Report. But right now, let's get you out to Dallas, and our crew will call the game. Drew Goodman, Dave Lapham, and Chris Spielman. And guys, obviously this is a huge game for both Mr. Tomlinson and the Horned Frogs.
There's no question about it, Kevin. Huge game. Only 30 miles separate these two schools, so they're very close in proximity. SMU would love nothing more than to knock off their longtime rivals, and for TCU, a chance to maybe break into the nation's top 10 with a win. And for them, it always begins with LaDainian Tomlinson. There's not a better runner in college football.
Well, the thing that impresses me the most about LT, Drew, is his conditioning. Because here's a guy that has carried the ball 611 times in the last 2 seasons, and he comes back for more. And he's only fumbled 4 times of those 611 carries, so he's quite remarkable. He really is. And he's the only guy in college football that's rushed for over 400 yards in a single game. You think about that, that's mind-boggling. You know, he's a total package, because what he does is he can make you miss. He's got the elusiveness, the escapability in the open field, and then he's got the speed to take it the distance at any time. And then at 5'11", 220 pounds, he'll lower his pad level, and he'll run right over you. Coach Franz says that he's a better person than football player, which is remarkable.
LaDainian is a special player, a special back that can hit a home run anytime that you give him the football. And but again, some of his best runs have just been the 10 or 15 yarders sometimes this year, because so many people have tried to do so many different things to stop him. I've jokingly said that he could go to the restroom and 5 defensive players would follow him.
Well, there might be 11 defensive players following him tonight in blue jerseys. You bet.
Right off the bus.
SMU has to slow down LaDainian Tomlinson. We turn to our defensive specialist, Chris Spielman. I say slow down because you don't stop a great back.
No, especially with a guy with great vision and great balance. What you have to do is you have to wrap him up, and you have to run through them. Number one thing that's stopping the back like that is gang tackling. Now you take a look at the number one rated defense in the nation in TCU. They have two great players. First of all, you have Aaron Schobel. He has the best motor in college football. That's not Chris Spielman talking. That's NFL scouts talking. Also, you have Shannon Brazil. When you have a great defense, you need a great middle linebacker. He has great pad level. He's smart and he's tough. What you want in your middle backer.
Yeah, TCU seemingly has everything. For SMU, obviously, to hang in this game, they have to produce some points. They have to throw the football, they believe. They have a home run hitter in Johnny Freeman they want to get involved, and also a steady guy in John Hampton at tight end.
Right on, Drew. Freeman's got the 4.4 speed, a converted running back, so he stretches the field vertically. They may line him up at the running back position to give him some touches tonight. And then once the field is stretched, Hampton has that great ability. You know, he's kind of got the natural instinct to find the seam in the zone and settle in, runs great option routes, but the most important thing, he catches the football. He doesn't drop anything.
No, he's got a pretty good quarterback throwing him the football, and Josh McCown. He's played a lot of football at SMU. Here's a pretty good quarterback, TCU sophomore Casey Printers. Pretty good running back for SMU. They have a guy by the name of Chris Briggs. SMU, TCU, come on back to Dallas with us.
I've seen a lot of Texas out on the open road, from up in Amarillo down to San Antonio.
Nothing makes the miles between the Panhandle and the Hill Country fly by like this, the Ford Mustang. And right now, you can hit the open road in one with $1,000 cash back. Stop by your Texas Ford dealer today and test drive the car that proves without a doubt.
Ford is the best in Texas.
I am born and raised in De Leon, Texas. No Whataburgers. Bring it on. That's heavy. That's a big burger. Oh, man. A lot of cheese. A lot of pickles, a lot of cheese, a lot of cheese, a lot of cheese.
Great big burgers, 24 hours a day, always made to order.
Man, that's good. That's really good. Man, this is a really big burger. I mean, it takes two hands. I'd be scared to drive with this. It's too big. You know, this would be too big to drive with. I don't know.
Whataburger. Real food, real fresh for real folks since 1950.
Check out the new edition of Billy Ball as the TCU Horned Frogs hit the floor this year for an exciting final season in the WAC. Season tickets start as low as $100, so reserve your seats today. Plus, your season ticket this year guarantees you a seat next season when the Frogs join college basketball's elite in Conference USA. Check out the Fast Break Frogs in Fort Worth. For ticket and schedule information, call the TCU ticket office at 817-257-FROG.
Hey, Keith, can you tell AC Green I'm ready when he is?
No.
The Keith Olbermann Evening News, Sundays at 10.
It's NFL This Morning on Fox Sports Net.
You should get up and hang out with us because we're going to have a little bit of fun. Unbelievable! I'll tell you who's going to win. Tony, give me love. Speaking of good material.
I like the hair today, Chris Myers. You look a little like Bob's big boy.
Broken down to name calling up here.
It's your Sunday morning tailgate party in a box. NFL This Morning, Sunday at 10 on Fox Sports Net.
Kevin Frazier, thanks very much, and welcome inside Gerald J. Ford Stadium in Dallas, Texas, with Dave Lapham, Chris Spielman, and Jim Knox. I'm Drew Goodman. TCU number 13 in the land. SMU comes in trying to pull a major league upset. They're 3-8. This is their 12th football game. And Arizona State, congratulations. They knock off Arizona today 30-17. Downstairs, the fourth member of our crew, Jim Knox, with Coach Franchione.
Okay, thank you, Drew. Coach, obviously your main objective is to win tonight's game, but one last chance for LaDainian Tomlinson to impress the Heisman Trophy voters. Do you make a conscious effort to continue to feed him the football tonight?
Well, there's a direct correlation between winning and doing that, so yes, we will, but we're not going to try to win the Heisman tonight. We're going to try to win the football game.
Okay, best of luck. I know you got to go call the first play. TCU will receive. Drew?
All right, Jim, thanks very much. Coach Franchione, well respected around the nation. He's done a marvelous job considering 4 years ago, before he took the program over, TCU was 1-10. Now they're on the cusp of the nation's top 10. SMU won the toss. They deferred. They will kick off. And that's going to hop skip through the end zone. So the Horned Frogs will begin at their own 20-yard line. Let's take a look at the offensive starters for the number 13 team in the land. Casey Printers is the quarterback, good size, 6'3", 205, just a sophomore. He started 10 games as a freshman. Coach Fran says he's the brightest freshman quarterback he's ever coached, and a great offensive line. Tonight, this group intact for the 23rd consecutive ball game. And the TCU skill guys, they have a lot of skill. Dunbar and Maiden, of course, LT, he'll handle the football 35, maybe 40 times today. And here's his first carry, and he's spilled right around the line of scrimmage by Chase Chaverda. And let's take a look at the SMU defenders. They'll line up in even front. Patman, Birdwell, Croy, and Aldridge. Aldridge, they think, could be a star. He's a junior at 260 pounds. Valoria leads the WAC in tackles. And Kevin Garrett, a great corner with tremendous speed. He's the fastest player out there for SMU. Runs around 4.3. Printers, double clutch, and incomplete, maybe interference. His intended target, Kevin Brown, and there is Garrett closing on the coverage.
Yeah, Garrett, you can't go through the receiver to make a play on the football, and that's what they call Garrett, his contact premature to the arrival of the football.
Yeah, you know what got him was that double clutch. He had a good break on the football. What you're supposed to do is break on that first arm action. He did.
Defensive pass interference. Slide of the foul. First down.
The thing about him, Chris, is he certainly can break on the football. 4.23 speed. I mean, that's like Deion Sanders type speed, so once he makes the recognition, he can certainly close on the ball.
That's faster than Deion right now.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Deion's lost a little quickness.
Yeah, coming out of Florida State. He ran a sub 4.2. I mean, that's unbelievable.
1st and 10 from the 26 for the Horned Frogs. Printers has it complete out to about the 30-yard line. That's his tight end, B.J. Roberts, 250-pound junior from Burke Burnett, Texas. LaDainian Tomlinson in this football game for TCU, closing in on 2,000 yards rushing. He's going to lead the nation in rushing for 2 consecutive years, and he's still in that Heisman race. I think Josh Heupel probably the favorite right now, along with Wenke. But you never know. Tomlinson, unbelievable ability. And he gets the football here, and he's able to skip for maybe a yard. Again, getting penetration is Chaverda, the 255-pound senior from Sealy, Texas. Let's take a look at the TCU game plan tonight. Dave, what do they need to do?
Well, the one thing they don't want to do is give short fields to SMU. They lost their only game of the season to San Jose by giving turnovers on their side of the football field. Can't do that tonight. No turnovers, no returns over midfield. No balls over the top of the head in the passing game. No big plays over their head. Freeman, Cunningham, Hampton got to control them. And no mistakes in the kicking game. Be sound. Don't give the football game away by making a mistake in the punting or place kicking game.
3rd and 3. SMU brings in a nickel package. Printers dangerous with his feet. Gorgeous run out of the scramble by Printers out to the 45, and they'll move the chains for TCU. Jarian James brought him down.
You're seeing it in the NFL, now you're seeing it in college football. The dangerous thing that a quarterback has is great vision. Here he has 3rd and 3, runs a little option play. He sees his receivers covered. He understands where the route is, the open pass lanes. He finds it, picks up the first down with his feet.
Tremendous block on Aldridge. The pancake block on Aldridge gave him a rush lane gap to abuse.
2 tight ends, George Payne in at fullback. Printers on the option, plenty of room. Printers
inside the 20 to the 17-yard line.
Now, Drew, that was set up by the fact that SMU's loading the box up to stop LT inside. You saw the first 2 carries of the game for LT stuffed inside. So then you spread them out, you stretch them. You spread the field horizontally with the option game, and you get to the edge. And tremendous decision-making by Printers. And great block down the football field. You saw the chop block, took Beard right off his feet, and Printers takes it to the edge. And it's set up. If you're going to stretch it, pound it inside, then stretch it.
Pick up a 38. Tomlinson on a lead, gets about 5 or 6 inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. Kevin Aldridge, 11, will get up last.
You know, we talked to Coach Schumann, a defensive coordinator at SMU, and the #1 thing he said, the first thing out of his mouth, when TCU runs the option, we need to stop the option. But that's tough to do, Dave, when you have a 7 technique in there, which means a defensive lineman on the inside eye of the tight end. That gives you a short corner.
Right, and I think that he was lined up that way because they're real concerned with LT abusing him right up the gut between the tackles with his vision and his cutback ability.
2nd and 5 for the Horned Frogs, initial possession of the football game. Printers throws toward the end zone, should have been intercepted. Breaking on the football, Tommy Dorsey, and he flat dropped it.
It's great breaking for SMU to be in this football game. You need to come up with those kind of plays.
All right, those opportunities present themselves. You got to capitalize. This has been the Achilles heel of the SMU football team to date. Has been the secondary, the young secondary. They don't have anybody holding the sophomore back there. But they're gaining more and more confidence every week, and they're more sure of themselves. They're tackling a lot better now because they're more sure of themselves, but Walterscheid should have had that one.
4 wides on 3rd and 5. And Printers calls a timeout. 3rd and 5, timeout TCU. 11:37 to go, opening quarter from Dallas.
Can you see yourself at McDonald's? We're doing everything we can to make sure you do.
We love to see you smile.
Hi, I'm Rocky Thompson. I play the Senior PGA Tour. I chose Dr. Booth because of his experience, over 10,000 procedures he's done. Dr. Booth is the single most relaxed human being I have ever met in my entire life. I would recommend the Booth Eye Care and Laser Center to anyone considering LASIK.
Why not give yourself the gift of clear vision?
Serious, you can clearly see. You can see. Booth Eye Care and Laser Center.
The amazingly advanced 7-layered double comfort Justin Original work boot. Maybe the most comfortable work boot anywhere.
There's LaDainian Tomlinson. Had a pretty good week last week. 305 yards against UTEP. Well, of course, not quite as good as he had the year before against UTEP.
When he sees those uniforms, he goes crazy. But he's had 3 games now in his career of over 300 yards. That's amazing.
3rd and 5 for TCU. They fake the reverse. Printers vacates. And he's not going to get to the sticks. Dropped at the 12-yard line. Coming up nicely, Jarian James, the Will linebacker. And he's a true freshman. They got a lot of young guys, Chris Spielman, running around on defense for SMU.
Well, they do. And the one thing that they're starting to do toward the end of the year, they're starting to understand their responsibility on defense. And there's no teacher like experience. And that's what they're getting by playing in these type of games.
You're right. You can't drill a hole in young guys' heads and pour experience in there. The only way they get it is on a snap-by-snap basis to show. TCU's offense, 7 seniors and 3 juniors. SMU's defense, 1 senior, 2 juniors. That's a little experience difference there.
Chris Kalaki from 28 yards. He's had an outstanding season. Good snap, good hold, and as you'd expect, Kalaki drills it down the middle. So TCU travels 69 yards on their opening possession, and they take a 3-0 lead against their arch rivals, the Mustangs of SMU.
Howie, have a seat. Listen.
Cool. Just like a movie theater.
RCA Digital Home Theater from Radio Shack.
There's just one thing that's missing. A cup holder.
Where can you get RCA Digital Home Theater and many other RCA gifts like digital cameras and pocket TVs? Radio Shack, around the corner and around the clock.
They are among the finest in their specialties. Their patients are referred to them from all over the world. They have a wealth of experience and compassion. And when you need them, they're there. At Diagnostic Clinic of Houston, they have the resources and the technology to find answers to your health concerns. They are an impressive team of specialists to whom you can refer anyone. Diagnostic Clinic of Houston. Refer someone you love.
Ford F-150. It's the truck more Texans depend on. It's also the truck that gives Texans more payload capacity and now more value. For a limited time, get into a new Ford F-150, the best-selling truck in Texas with low 4.9 financing or $1,000 cash back. To get a new F-150 or to check out the Ford F-150 Super Crew, get to your Texas Ford dealer today and see why Ford is the best in Texas. College football on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by the Texas Ford dealers.
College football Saturday special edition on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by dsports.com. Log on to dsports.com, the ultimate online sporting goods store with over 40,000 items. dsports.com, seize the D. And we're in Big D, north of downtown, on the beautiful campus around University Park at SMU. And what a gorgeous facility this is. It seats about 32,000, opened this year. Gerald J. Ford, not to be confused with the ex-president of the United States.
That's right.
Well-to-do businessman in the Dallas Metroplex area who donated a large amount of money so this facility could be built. TCU leads 3-0. This will be Freeman from the 8-yard line. He can really move. And he lost the football. Ball's loose at the 26-yard line. And this has been a rather familiar sight this year for the Mustangs. Somebody lost their hat.
Yeah.
But the guy lost their hat. More importantly than the hat, he's got the football.
That was Brown that came up with the football, lost his helmet.
Well, he's got the important thing, right? Josh McCown's the quarterback for SMU. He's played a lot of football. He's a junior. And on the offensive line, McCarthy, James McCarthy's a tough guy up front. They really like Joey Slayton's ability. He's a big guy, well over 300 pounds. And the people that'll handle the football, Briggs, a complete football player at the tailback, Chris Cunningham, Billy Ford, Johnny Freeman, and a tight end with great hands, and John Hampton. McCown on a boot. And he'll throw it over the head of his intended target. It's the tight end Hampton getting down the field. So it'll be 2nd and 10. And we take a look at the defenders for the Horned Frogs. A 4-2-5 alignment. They play a base nickel defense. Schobel has a great motor at defensive end. And Sean Worthen, a 300-pounder defensive tackle, very good. Brazil and Bayer, two good linebackers. And here's the nickel package in the secondary. Charlie Owens is really like a third linebacker. Curtis Fuller, Russell Gary, two other good safeties. SMU looks a little confused right now offensively.
Cluster formation.
Movement. Schobel came flying off the edge, and he's going to point to Joey Slayton.
Yeah, I think McCarthy, Slayton, the left side, moved a little bit prematurely to the snap. It's Big Mac, James McCarthy.
Field, second down.
Now he's all juiced up, ready to play. But you got to stay in that three-point stance until the ball snapped. And he was a full count early. Didn't even get his money's worth. Didn't even get a hit on anybody. You know, if you're going to go early, you got to pound somebody.
The 81st get-together between SMU and TCU, and the home team has held serve the last 4 years, and they're 4-4 in the last 8 battles. McCown has a screen set up. This is Briggs. And he'll tumble to the 25-yard line. And we check in with Jim Knox, who I hope has a raincoat on tonight. Knoxy?
Who needs a raincoat? I tell you what, though, Drew, it has been raining all day here in Dallas, and weather will definitely be a factor. As the game goes on, let me show you what's happening here. One of the ball boys, they brought 11 footballs for today's game, and what's going to happen as the game goes on, the balls will continue to be slick. As you see, they're dry right now, but come that second half, look for a very slick football. Drew?
All right, Jim, 9:53 to go in the opening quarter. 3rd and 10 for the Mustangs. Blitz coming, 7 coming. Single coverage on the outside, and it's thrown out of bounds. Billy Ford was blanketed. And it'll be 4th down. SMU, Dave, has struggled all season getting going in the first quarter. Since their opener against Kansas, when they had 24 points, just 2 touchdowns the rest of the year in the opening 15 minutes.
Been outscored in the first quarter 106-14. Now that's tough. When you get off to a start like that and you find yourself way behind the 8 ball, it's tough to come from behind game after game after game. Have to play more even Steven than that in the first quarter.
Yeah, for SMU to get anything going offensively, they got to win first downs. They found themselves backed up with 2nd and 15. They have no chance.
That penalty, that false start hurt them, got them off schedule.
Pressure coming. Vadheim gets it out of there. Good punt. Beal backs up to his 25. Beal trying to get to the wall. Great block. And he spilled at the 35-yard line. John Hampton came down and covered it. A 50-yard punt, a return of 11.
Williams is teaming up with the Western Athletic Conference to bring you the 2001 Williams WAC basketball tournament. All 9 WAC schools will bring their men's and women's teams to Tulsa March 6th through the 10th for 16 exciting games in 5 action-packed days. WAC basketball teams are some of the nation's best, so don't miss your chance to see them all at the 2001 Williams WAC basketball tournament. Call the Tulsa Sports Commission at 918-560-0205 for tickets.
Want to rejuvenate your gray hair and rejuvenate yourself? Learn how at justformen.com.
Showtime Unlimited. 10 channels, 750 choices. What satellite television should be. A different movie every hour. A package that offers you movies, specials, championship boxing, kids programs, and more choice at a great price. The Showtime Unlimited package. It's why you love satellite TV.
Part of Showtime Unlimited. Up to 10 channels for only $10.99 a month.
Join us for the next Charlie Chat, Tuesday, December the 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern on Channel 101.
Early on in the first quarter, TCU will have the football. They own a 3-0 lead. The big play came from the quarterback, Casey Printers, on the option.
Well, they take LT out of the game. They're making sure he doesn't get the pitch. So Prentice says, you're going to give me that kind of a crease, I'm going to abuse you. And that's the key to a good team, is somebody else steps up. And then Kalaki, I mean, he's now 15 of 17 on the season. He is Mr. Automatic. But, you know, LT's not the only, he's the star. I mean, if Oscar night, he gets the star award. But there's a great supporting cast here. Printers and others. And they got a heck of an offensive line. And if you take LT out of the game, there's other guys that step up, and Printers is capable.
You bet Printers is capable. 10 starts. We talked about it as a true freshman last year. And this is a screen to Tomlinson. They'll get him the football every which way possible, and he draws a crowd just a couple of yards on that particular snap. 92, Luke Gray moved down the line of scrimmage and got involved. TCU has won 14 of their last 15 games. They're 9-1. The only hiccup 3 weeks ago on a wet field in San Jose, California. They lost to the Spartans 27-24.
And Drew, the big reason they lost that game was field position. They lost the battle of hitting yards, and they had 2 turnovers on their side of the football field, uncharacteristic.
On 2nd and 8, Tomlinson, a big opening, and he hits it in a hurry and gets about 6 yards. It'll be 3rd down and short. Vic Valoria, 55, and Jerry and James will get credit for the tackle. What do the Mustangs have to do today, guys?
Well, when SMU gets the ball inside the 20, in the scoring zone, the red zone, they got to score touchdowns, not settle for field goals. That's a tough task. TCU is very, very tough when the field condenses. Avoid 3rd and long. No tackle for lost sacks. They got to win 1st down and limit LT's yards after contact, yards after that first hit.
Check with me at the line of scrimmage. It's going to run away from the safety. There it is.
And on 3rd and short, Tomlinson uses the strength to get enough for a 1st down. And with that carry, he moves over 2,000 yards this season. 2002, the 9th player in Division I history to eclipse 2,000 yards. The guy's doing that in 11 games is extraordinary.
It's unbelievable. It's a great effort. A lot of credit goes to the big hogs up front, too.
No doubt.
They've been together a long time, and it shows. Anytime a back can go for that.
And he's always the first to credit, as he calls them the big uglies up front.
Come on now.
Well, I know, Dave, you're in that fraternity, and you fit the description.
Oh, come on now. You guys are killing me.
I'll tell you what.
I shaved and everything today.
SMU's doing a good job of shutting down the inside run out of regular formation. Now, when you see TCU spreading the field out, that's when they're trying to hit LT up inside. So far in a regular formation, SMU defense has been pretty stout against him.
And you know, the other thing that guys about giving guys credit, tight ends, fullbacks, wide receivers, when as many runs go for big distances as LT gets, everybody's getting their block. Everybody. And they do a good job of it.
2nd and 9, Dunbar crosses in motion. And Tomlinson gets it. And Tomlinson breaks a couple of tackles and gets to midfield. It'll be 3rd down and 6 from that spot. Vic Valoria again involved. The 5'10", 225-pound sophomore. There he is. He leads the entire conference, coming in with 122 tackles. This guy's very instinctive, Chris.
Oh, he is. And you need to have good instincts to have that many tackles. And again, you know, football is a team game, and just like a running back needs his offensive line, a middle linebacker needs his defensive line. Those guys got to clear blockers for him. He runs and makes plays. He's a very good football player.
Keep the big uglies off him.
Yes, yes.
Keep him away.
I'm afraid some of that big ugly might rub off on me, Dave, sitting this close to you.
TCU needs the 44. Printers under pressure, and he's got it complete. Dunbar will have enough for a 1st down. Tackled by Kevin Garrett. First catch for LaTerrence Dunbar, a sophomore from South Oak Cliff High School, right here in the Dallas area, made famous by one Dennis Rodman.
And you know,
Chris Spielman's all-time favorite athlete.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. When you run the ball as well as TCU does, the play-action game's got to be there. This one's out of the shotgun, no play action, but they threw the ball for 216 yards last week. That's the most they've thrown all season long. The running game is established by LT. There's seams to throw into.
And Tomlinson picks up a couple of more, but there hasn't been that big opening yet.
Well, SMU's committed to stopping the inside run. And I'm going to say this point again because I believe it is necessary to point out is that they're playing their defensive end on what we call a 7 technique. Now, what that is, the defensive end lines up inside the tight end. This cuts down a lot of cutback lanes, which LT is very good at on the inside run.
But they're susceptible to the option, getting to the edge, to the perimeter, because usually they're in a 9 technique outside of the tight end. But see if they go back to the option to stretch them horizontally.
Well, the option's coming soon.
Tomlinson again on 2nd and 8. A couple of more, and it'll be 3rd and 6. 92, Luke Croy there again. He's a sophomore from Duncan, Oklahoma, 295-pounder.
Well, you see all the attention that Tomlinson gets when he carries the football. That's why it's amazing to me. Guys like these big defensive players want to get their hits, their licks on Tomlinson. And to carry the football, he's averaging almost 35 carries a game this year, just under 200 yards a game, 198 plus. And his durability, his conditioning is unbelievable because he bounces back so quickly.
Man-to-man defense. SMU brings 5. Here's the option. Tomlinson gets a block, but not enough. 4, 5, maybe even 6 blue jerseys around Tomlinson. No gain on 3rd down. Valoria and number 8, Leroy Price, the free safety in the neighborhood.
I tell you, Leroy Price made that play. He came up, took on a blocker, forced LT to redirect, and let the pursuit get him.
It was the fullback.
Watch number 8, Leroy Price, come up. He'll come up, take the legs out of lane. Very good job. And that lets the pursuit to come get him and clean up the pile. That's how you want to play. You want to take out a blocker, force LT to redirect, and have your defenders come and hit. What we talked about at the beginning of the show. In order to stop a great back like LT, you got to gang tackle. Great job, SMU.
Boy, he splashed that fullback. Didn't he splash him pretty good?
Brazil to punt. Cunningham back at his own 10, going to watch it go over his head. And it gets in the end zone. A punt of 40 yards, but a net of just 20. TCU leading SMU 3-0. Here's the update on season rushing yards. LaDainian Tomlinson, 8th all-time. Look at the names on this list. They all carried Heisman's home, save Troy Davis and Byron Hanspard.
And if he has an LT-type night, he could get all the way to number 3 now. SMU is going to have something to say about that. You know, he only rushed for 125 yards last year against SMU, and SMU's defense, number 2 in the conference, stopping the run, only giving up 3.5 yards a lug.
Briggs straight ahead for a couple, and it'll be 2nd and 8. One reason SMU has some confidence going into this football game, guys, is that defensively, they've played their best football the last month.
Right. And the young guys are starting to get it figured out. Repetition breeds comfort level no matter what you're doing. And now they're starting to get it figured out. There's no doubt. If they had 3 or 4 more games, it'd be a pretty salty defense.
Mike Cavan, former quarterback at Georgia in the late 60s. And Briggs runs hard, crosses the 25, gets to about the 27-yard line.
I'll tell you, SMU's offense wants to do that. They want to get positive yards on 1st and 2nd down. They got a 3rd and 2. You can't ask for much more in offense. If you can get in a 3rd and 2 situation all night, you're going to be in pretty good shape. They like to run that weak side zone play. They've toured away from the tight end. They feel that they can attack TCU's defense on the weak side.
Right, no, they'll do it a bunch of different formations and motion. They'll give it different window dressing, but they'll run that weak side zone regularly.
3rd and a long 3, blitz coming. McCowan hangs in, but misses Billy Ford, who is open.
He got hit just as he was delivering the football. The pressure got to him, and the hit being delivered by Maiden.
Yeah, Maiden did a good job of disguising that blitz too. He started out outside. Watch here. Maiden does a good job disguising the blitz. You see Schobel coming. Well, and Maiden comes in and makes the hit. But what happened was he started outside. Schobel went outside. Maiden comes inside. That's an excellent stunt. It's one that's used a lot and one that's very effective.
Badheim a 50-yarder first time, and it was well covered. And this is a line drive job. Beal back to his 25. And again, it's well covered. Down on special teams was Brent Briggs making the play. A punt of 48 this time. Sunday, we're bringing the tailgate party to you with NFL This Morning on Fox Sports Net, the most raucous and rocking Sunday morning pregame show anywhere. This week, Chris Myers, Jay Moore, and the rest of the Breakfast Bunch discuss if Ray Lewis is the best player in the NFL. Jackie Slater gives the Chargers a game plan to beat the Chiefs, and a live interview with Vikings coach Dennis Green. NFL This Morning at 10 a.m. in the East, 7 a.m. out west, only on Fox Sports Net. TCU leading 3-0 from their own 27. Tomlinson stutter steps, and again, not much room between the tackles against SMU.
You know, SMU played this power play exceptionally well. Watch the guard pull and the fullback. They're the two that are playing off each other. The fullback up inside the guard, reading it, turns it up, but SMU one more at the point of attack than TCU can block. They're really stacking inside the tackle box with an extra defender. TCU's got to go to the option or throw the football.
Dennis Franchione, all kinds of rumors that various schools would love to have him be their head coach. Nobody more than TCU. They give to the fullback, and rumbling close to the chains is George Lane. He's going to be a couple of yards short, 250-pound junior.
You know, George is an effective runner. One of the reasons why is because so much attention is paid to LT. Sure. And we watched the film last week, and Lane broke off a couple of nice runs there because you're not expecting him to get the football.
Well, like I said, he's the Academy Award winner. He's the star. But Lane, that's the best supporting actor right there. And so's Printers. I mean, they got other guys that can play this game. It's not LT all by himself. We'd be the first to tell you that.
Purcell has come in for Lane at fullback on 3rd and 2. Tomlinson. That's all effort, guys. If he got the first down, he did it on his own. Broke one tackle and ran through Leroy Price.
The tackle that he broke was Bischoff, and Bischoff had him in the backfield, but he could not quite wrap him up. And you can't arm tackle a guy like LT. His legs are so strong. Bischoff tries the arm tackle, and LT evades that one. But, boy, I tell you, there's just great pursuit by SMU. They're really hustling the football. Inside-out pursuit's fantastic.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of running the ball and gang tackling. And we talked about it in the opening of the show. In order to stop a great back, you need to get 11 hats on his rear end every time he touches the football.
He didn't get there. Brazil will come in and punt again. 38 seconds left in the first quarter. Chris Cunningham back at his own 30. And it takes an SMU hop. They'll have it at the 42-yard line, a punt of just 22 yards.
Well, I'd never understand a guy to kick the ball barefooted.
Yeah, what's up with that?
You know, I tried that before, Drew.
It doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
Yeah, I mean,
and on a cold night, it's got to hurt a little bit.
Yeah, that ball's going to be like kicking a rock. He's trying to stay up on those toes. You know, you don't want the arch of your foot to freeze. You know. I tell you,
unbelievable.
Yeah, at 59 below, he put a shoe on. I know that. He wants to get a nice feel of the leather, though.
Or so you're told.
Right.
Briggs to the 45, maybe the 46-yard line, and let's check in again with Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Drew. Down here by the SMU bench, I tell you what, this is a fired-up defense. They are all over the field, gang tackling, and they are right on LT tonight. They came off the field, and they are just hollering, saying we can do it all night long. Meanwhile, on the other side of the field, LT, Ledeni, and Tomlinson just sitting there calm, cool, and collected. You know, you get the feeling he could just break one any minute.
Well, that's the thing, Knox. So you give him the football 30 times, at some point, he's going to bust one.
That'll do it for the first chapter in Dallas. TCU, a field goal ahead of the Mustangs.
Just a bit of magic. Oh, you got to see it. So like the unexpected, perfectly perfected.
High-definition television, made possible by Panasonic.
Oh, just a bit of magic.
What'd you get for 26? C, 68 and 74. CNC.
Pencils down.
Right down the center. Not so great for taking tests, but great for collect calls. You can save big bucks by dialing 1-800-CALL-ATT.
Oh, no, not snow. Not snow. No, no!
Polaris. It's not just a sled. It's a priority. See your dealer for details on nothing down, no payments, and no interest until March 2001.
The Booth Eye Care and Laser Center has done over 10,000 laser vision corrections.
At the Booth Eye Care and Laser Center, they make you feel at home.
It only took about 8 minutes, and there was really nothing to it.
I chose Dr. Booth because of his experience and the technology that he uses.
I would recommend the Booth Eye Care and Laser Center to anyone considering LASIK.
I'm Dr. William Booth.
Experience you can clearly see. Booth Eye Care and Laser Center.
Start your day with the Regional Sports Report for news dedicated to your home teams, followed by the National Sports Report, weekday mornings on Fox Sports Net.
Getting set for the start of the second quarter, TCU leading SMU 3-0. We asked Dennis Franchione, TCU's head coach, about the rivalry with SMU.
To me, these are the things that make college football unique and special. The thing that I love about college football, the tradition of games like this, whether it's this one or whatever game it is, I get excited about them, and I look forward to these kinds of games, and you always know that either team can win regardless of how their season's going, and I think it makes it even more exciting.
You know, you go way, way back, and 5 times in the 30s and 40s, this game had national championship implications.
Well, in this area, this is certainly a fertile area to recruit. I mean, there's no question about that. The Metroplex area, 118 kids got scholarships within 100 miles of these two schools. There's no shortage of talent around here.
No shortage of talent in the entire Lone Star State.
Absolutely.
Blitz coming, McCown. He has his tight end. There's your guy, John Hampton.
Yeah, John Hampton's a tight end that runs great routes, and he also has great hands. Now, for a tight end, it's essential to have the great hands. But the other thing he brings, on a clock, he's only like a 4.86 40 guy. But all the coaches agreed with this when we talked to him the other day, that he plays faster than his time speed. And I know a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, it's called functional football speed.
Well, I never had it. Right. It's in my genes. I never had to flee from anybody, so I didn't know how to run.
Exactly. But you put your pads on, you're even faster. This guy reminds me of a teammate of mine with the Bengals named Danny Ross. A lot like him.
Third and a couple. Good blitz pickup by Briggs. The out cut is over the head of Carpenter. And breaking hard on the football, Greg Walls. It'll be 4th down.
Might have got away with something here.
Yeah. It's a matter of getting caught, right?
Yep. It's good. He's playing good coverage. He gets his hands inside. Got a little grab there. Nothing wrong with that. What are you talking about?
You know,
that wasn't a hole. He just got his finger cut up in one of the holes in the jersey.
You just got to make sure that you have the official screened off when you do that.
Offensive guys only hold.
That's right.
That was an accident.
LeVar Veal back at his own 15-yard line. Badheim's averaged 49 yards a punt. This is another good effort. From the 10, Veal across the 15 to the 18, a punt of 38, a return of 7, 3-0, TCU.
The Booth Eye Care and Laser Center has done over 10,000 laser vision corrections.
At the Booth Eye Care and Laser Center, they make you feel at home.
It only took about 8 minutes, and there was really nothing to it. I chose Dr. Booth because of his experience and the technology that he uses.
I would recommend the Booth Eye Care and Laser Center to anyone considering LASIK.
I'm Dr. William Booth. Experience the life-changing LASIK procedure at the Booth Eye Care and Laser Center.
Best, most, max, with more of the movies you crave. Really? Multimax has 3 big channels of endless entertainment.
Wow.
First, there's Cinemax, more movies than any other premium service.
Much more!
This month, catch a knockout performance and knockouts galore. Then check out more Max for more choice, big stars, classic picks, and tons of indies.
We're hip, we're cool.
For hits that just can't miss, call to order Multimax from Cinemax for just $10.99 a month.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
The only points, a Chris Kalaki field goal, 3-0 TCU. LaDainian Tomlinson is considered a front-runner for the Doak Walker Award, named after the legendary SMU Mustang. In the 1947 game between the Mustangs and Horned Frogs, Walker ran for 87 yards, passed for 138, got a number of passes, and also had 206 yards on returns. It was a memorable day for Walker, but the game ended in a 19-19 tie. The late, great Doak Walker. And look what LaDainian Tomlinson has done so far in his career.
You know, LaDainian, after gaining 2,000 yards this season and 5,000 or more for his career, he's the second guy in the history of college football to do that. The other, Heisman Trophy winner Ricky Williams. So he joins some elite company there, does LT.
And the thing about LaDainian Tomlinson, and the first thing his teammates say about him, the first thing his head coach says about him, is that as good a player as he is, he's a better person.
Well, you know, it's a great deal for a coach when your best player is an example like that on and off the football field. It was like that with the Bengals with Anthony Munoz. When your best player is a quality act, you're in great shape.
Printer's in trouble, and he gets it away to Tomlinson, and Tomlinson is going to lose about 3 yards.
Yeah, he was sacked. I think his knee hit before he threw the football.
Didn't it look like his right knee was down?
Yeah, it was good pressure by SMU because they ran a three-step pump and go down here towards SMU sidelines, and he had him.
He did. He did.
Yeah, he had him. Watch, it's going to be a three-step pump and go. And he had him beat.
On the sideline.
Yeah, he had him beat on the sidelines, and right there, his knee is down. That's a sack. But it goes as a 4-yard loss, or 2-yard loss.
Printers, this one's up for grabs. And luckily for Printers, it falls harmlessly to the ground. Chasing it was Chris Post.
You know, the thing that Printers has got nowhere to go with the football. Watch back here. Watch, where does Printers have to throw the football? Everybody's got their zone responsibilities covered. There's nowhere to go with the football. Everybody's locked up. Printers holds on to the football, and then he gets hit now dangerously. Throws it to the middle of the football field late, Chris. That's usually a pick.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a cover 4 where they play their safeties up tight, their corners back deep. They're mixing it up pretty good, coverage-wise.
3rd and 13 for the Horned Frogs. They give it to Tomlinson. And SMU's defense reacts quickly.
You know, a lot of these SMU kids and TCU kids probably played high school with or against each other. So that brings you a little bit more confidence because you've already played these guys and you probably competed with them in high school. So SMU is playing like, hey, I don't care if you're the 13th rated team in the country. You're not coming into our house and punching us in the face.
That's right. You know, it's cliche, but it's true. Games like this should throw the records out. Coach Franz said that, and it's very believable. I've been in a few of those. I know you have too, Chris, and that's the nature of the beast in these rivalries.
SMU should get decent field position. Cunningham at his own 40.
Oh,
and this is another poor effort, though. It takes a good hop.
Pick it up. You got to field that. Get it on a hop.
It was ugly off the foot. Pretty good book. Pretty good in the book, though. 45 yards, no return. 3-0. It remains TCU over SMU.
I am born and raised in De Leon, Texas. No Whataburgers. Bring it on. That's heavy. That's a big burger. Oh, man. A lot of cheese. A lot of pickles, a lot of cheese, a lot of cheese. I love cheese.
Great big burgers, 24 hours a day, always made to order.
Man, that's good. That's really good. Man, this is a really big burger. I mean, it takes 2 hands. I'd be scared to drive with this. It's too big. You know, this would be too big to drive with. I don't know.
Whataburger. Real food, real fresh for real folks since 1950.
Can something like a machine give you the power to work on your own terms? A machine that actually makes you feel free. Is there such a machine? A freedom machine. What do you think?
The Protégé series featuring the Intel Pentium 3 processor. To buy direct now, visit Toshiba.com. Choose freedom. Choose Toshiba.
When it comes to giving you a choice of widths, most athletic shoe selection gets a little thin. But New Balance from Dick's Sporting Goods and dsports.com gives you a choice of up to 4 different widths, up to 46 different size width combinations for the ultimate in fit and comfort. And Dick's guarantees will have your size in stock on any advertised footwear. Or you get 20% off any other pair of shoes. New Balance from Dick's and dsports.com. We love sports as much as you do.
Good night for a rain suit. It's been raining for a couple of days in Big D. TCU leading SMU. Drew Goodman with Dave Lapham, Chris Spielman, and Jim Knox. Glad you're along tonight on Fox Sports Net. And a happy Thanksgiving to everybody. SMU has had it 3 times, and they've gone 3 and out each possession. They run short side option, and Briggs is run out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. Good reaction by TCU.
Well, what they do, and you look at speed. You talk about speed on defense, you take a look at TCU's defense. Now, when you defend the option, you want to make the quarterback make a decision. He does. The timing's messed up. And again, right there, you have Aaron Schobel coming over. You have my boy Brazil coming over, the middle linebacker. Those guys are the playmakers. Why? Because they can run sideline to sideline. And that's what, speed is not only determined how fast you run, but it's determined on how fast you get to the football. And TCU gets to the ball.
Great angles. They take great pursuit angles as well as the speed. They're smart.
2nd and 12. McCown throws, and it is complete to Johnny Freeman.
Now, see, here's a third and makeable situation. TCU, or SMU, I should say, has to convert, guys, because they don't have a first down yet. In the first quarter, TCU ran 20 plays to their 7, and TCU had the ball over 11 minutes to their 3 minutes of change. And the defense for SMU is going to wear down. The offense has to support them at some point in time, or the defense is going to run out of gas. They got to move the chains.
3rd and 4. 6 coming for TCU, and the pass too high for Cunningham on a shallow cross. And again, 3 and out. 12 snaps, not a first down yet for SMU.
Yeah, TCU is blitzed on every 3rd down situation, and McCown had a receiver open. The offensive line and backs did a great job of picking up the blitz. He had the guy open. You got to make that connection. Again, as Dave said, as Drew said, when you have to get some 3rd down conversions, not only for your own confidence, but you have to give your defense a little bit of a breather.
One of the big reasons TCU's defense #1 in the nation in yards allowed and points allowed, 60% of the time they force the opposition 2nd and long, 2nd and 7 or more. They win first down.
Badheim, line drive punt. Here's Veal. And Veal spills across the 40 to the 43-yard line. John Hampton covered it. A punt of just 34 yards, 17 on the return. Pretty good field position for the Horned Frogs when we're back to Dallas.
Hi, I'm Randy McElroy, inviting you to join us tonight for your 11 p.m. Regional Sports Report Southwest Edition.
And I'm Rick Renner. It's a full 30 minutes of sports news you care about.
It's a frantic Friday on the gridiron. Forget George W. We go to Austin for A&M in Texas.
Little Rock was a little wet, but LSU and Arkansas or Arkansas settled the score in the SEC.
Scoop of the Hoop, NBA style. Spurs take their show to the Rockies.
It's all coming up at 11 o'clock on your Regional Sports Report on Fox Sports Net.
Best, most, max, with more of the movies you crave. Really? Multimax has 3 big channels of endless entertainment. Wow. First, there's Cinemax, more movies than any other premium service.
Much more!
This month, catch a knockout performance and knockouts galore. Then check out more Max for more choice, big stars, classic picks, and tons of indies.
We're hip, we're cool.
For hits that just can't miss, call to order Multimax from Cinemax for just $10.99 a month.
This month, be more independent with great movies on Dish On Demand. A woman leads a double existence but doesn't know which is real and which is a dream. Demi Moore stars in Passion of Mind. Then, 3 sons in a Pakistani family threaten to leave home when they discover their father has arranged marriages for them in East is East. And the single men in a small Irish town post an ad to lure American women to their annual village dance in hopes of romance. It's the closer you get. Watch Channel 500 for movie previews and use your remote to order.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Coming up on the Nissan Halftime Report, as always, I'll be joined by Kellen and Artie. We'll have scores and highlights from across the nation. We'll also have a preview of tomorrow's Oklahoma State game. And this one just crossed across the wire. Another major coach resigns after losing a game today. We'll fill you in on who and where. But right now, let's get back to Drew, Dave, and Chris.
All right, Kevin, thanks very much. This turned into a punting contest. It's 3-0 TCU. We've had 7 consecutive punts. And I think Dennis Franchione, when we talked to him the other day, realized despite SMU's 3-8 record, they were going to have their hands full.
I agree with you. Yeah, this is, forget punt, pass, and kick. This is just punt, punt, and punt. I mean, it's there's no PPK here.
The Horned Frogs do have good field position. 1st and 10 at their own 43.
This is a formation. They'll get Tomlinson the ball inside for the option.
Tomlinson picks up about 4 yards. There is a flag down.
I think SMU may have lined up offsides. Or you got to make sure now TCU needs 7 men on the line of scrimmage. They had 7 men up on the line. Offsides on SMU. They lined up in the neutral zone.
Well, we'll hear Kevin Frazier, guys, at halftime with Kellen and Artie. I wonder
another resignation
resigned today.
Wow.
Offside on the defense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
I like the way, you know, Kevin, he's not going to tell you, you know what I mean?
No, he's hiding it.
Yeah, he's keeping a secret on
you know what?
now.
In the business, that's called the T.
Yeah, and that's a capital T. He's got my interest peaked, I'll tell you that right now.
He's not even giving it to the boys in the box.
No, he's not. I mean, he's got me. I can't wait till the half now.
Because if we knew, he knew not to tell us, because if we knew, we'd let it go.
No question.
1st and 5.
We call that a steal.
Here's Tomlinson, and it's been rough sledding for Ladanian. Before that trip, unofficially 13 carries, 30 yards.
You know, TCU, it's been a defensive juggernaut here, defensive battle, you know. 9 plays, end up punting the football, then 3 and out, 3 and out. So SMU playing some pretty salty D as well, Chris. The thing that I'm impressed with, both teams running to the ball. They're rallying to the ball in big numbers, rallying to the ball.
You can always tell when 2 rivals get together because the pads crack a little bit louder.
Yes, sir.
Look at this, flea flicker. And it's well covered. Printers throws it anyhow, and incomplete. Down the field, he was trying to get it to Cedric James, but SMU in the secondary was not fooled.
Yeah, nobody was fooled. They're double coverage back there. You know, the flea flicker, the first thing that has to happen is LT has to get up into the line of scrimmage before pitching back to the quarterback. He does a decent job, but nobody's fooled back there, Chris.
No, it isn't. It's a great job by both safeties getting depth.
You know, there was a little nudge in the back by Rutledge. Rutledge, a little bit of contact there as the ball's flying over the head of the intended receiver.
You talk about Oscars.
Yeah, that was like taking the charge in the NBA.
Yeah, I think it was a good no call. Third down and 2.
Good flop.
Here's Printers. He's come to run, and he'll have a first down. He's got quick feet. You know, Dennis Franchione was saying about Printers that he may be the first big-time recruit he was able to pull to the Fort Worth campus. He was recruited by Notre Dame, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma, and decided to go to TCU.
And the thing about him, you know, you take all the numbers and boil it down, and 17 wins, 3 losses. A quarterback is measured by wins and losses, and he took over his freshman year and took over very effectively. 20 games, he's won 17 of them. That dog will hunt right there.
And he'll go out of the shotgun on first down. And a misconnection with Tomlinson. And he still gets it away. Dunbar making something happen out of bounds at the 41. That may be the fanciest 5-yard gain you've seen in a while.
Boy, Dorsey had it for a loss, Chris. Dorsey had the tackle about 5 yards in the backfield, and Dorsey missed the play, and Dunbar made him pay. Yards after missed tackle were huge here.
Well, this is a great play by Printers, is keeping his composure. And you see him and LT were talking after the play, say what went wrong, but he kept his composure. They still ran the play. Dorsey has a chance to make a play. He doesn't get it. But again, you see SMU running the football. But you got to make a play when you have the opportunity.
In the open field, he made him miss big.
They give to Purcell, the fullback, and he'll have a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd down and 3 from the SMU 39.
You know, I would like to see TCU do this. LT had a carry for 7 yards. The formation he had to carry out for 7 yards was 4 wideouts. They spread the field. When you do that, you have to spread your defense. And you get a little bit bigger splits so he's able to hit the holes because SMU is committed to stopping him inside. They're not going to let him run inside. And that's why Printers has been successful on break and contain.
Exactly. They're loading the box up with one more than TCU can block.
4 wideouts on 3rd and 3. They give it to Tomlinson on the option. He'll have the first down to the 31-yard line, dropped by Kevin Garrett.
You know, that's great blocks by the wide receivers, and what they're doing is doing some good crackback blocking is what we call it. If you take a look at them, all 3 of them get a block out there. They were in a trips formation. They run the option to the trip side, and they outflank the defense.
And whenever you have a guy rush for the number of yards LT is rushed for, you have blocking on the perimeter.
Crack. It's a great job, and again, we cannot emphasize enough when big plays happen downfield, it's by receivers blocking downfield, and TCU's guys did a nice job.
It's sustaining the block.
Quick throw on the perimeter, James. And a
illegal block
comes in.
Illegal block on the perimeter.
He got 6 yards.
I think he's going to call illegal crackback blocking below the waist on the edge. One receiver blocking for the other out there. They do a nice job, but and there it is, below the waist. Illegal crackback block, and that's going to cost TCU a little bit.
You know, I think that was LT who cut the guy. Now, the reason why, he's not used to blocking out there on the perimeter, and when you can do that, he didn't know. I don't think he knew.
Illegal block on the offense. 15-yard penalty from the side of the foul.
That's a big one, too.
Yeah, 15 from the spot, and you can't end up below the waist. Take a look right here. Coming in, there's the chop right below the waist.
Wasn't LT, yeah.
It's Maiden, I think, out there on the edge.
LT had to hold, so they had dealer's choice. Is that what that's called?
Yeah, well, 9:18 to go in the first half. 3-0 TCU.
Look at that. Keep away.
On 15 minutes of the clock, but only a field goal to show. Tomlinson. Nice. Good open field tackle. It's the Will linebacker, Jarian James, a 200-pound true freshman from the state of Louisiana.
I'll tell you, that's a nice play. He defeated a blocker, and he made a one-on-one tackle when he opened the field against possibly the future Doak Walker Award winner. In other words, the best running back in the country.
But they've already run 30 snaps. In their offense, SMU's offense has only run 12. And LT having a tough time. Tough sledding today, less than 3 yards of crack. Got to get some help from the offense. They're going to wear down.
2nd and 18. Printers. It's complete. It's going to go for a touchdown. Great catch by Cedric James. No flags.
He beat Dorsey. Beat Dorsey on a little bit of a flag route.
Yeah, give credit to the offensive line and running backs for picking up the blitz. You got to think that SMU wants to pick and choose when they want to blitz. I don't think you'll see much more blitz out of them anymore because when you get burned once, you're a little hesitant to call it. But Printers made a great throw. He threw to a spot. He threw to the corner. James brings it in. Great throw, great catch, and great protection, David.
Excellent protection, and all phases of it were outstanding. The coverage wasn't terrible. The throw was better.
Kalaki to try to make it 10-0. And he does so. Cedric James, a big target, 6'2" and 200, and it was laid in there beautifully by the sophomore Casey Printers. 10-zip, Horned Frogs.
When it comes to giving you a choice of widths, most athletic shoe selection gets a little thin. But New Balance from Dick's Sporting Goods and dsports.com gives you a choice of up to 4 different widths, up to 46 different size width combinations for the ultimate in fit and comfort. And Dick's guarantees we'll have your size in stock on any advertised footwear. Or you get 20% off any other pair of shoes. New Balance from Dick's and dsports.com. We love sports as much as you do.
Introducing the Acura MDX, taking the SUV to a place it's never been before.
Cedric James in the end zone for the 3rd time this season. And it was a terrific throw from Casey Printers, his 13th touchdown pass of the year.
When you're loading the box up to stop the run and blitzing to stop the run, nice route. Coverage isn't terrible, but the ball is perfect. I mean, that's just, if he walked down and dropped it, he couldn't throw to a better spot than Painter's hit James there.
The only thing Dorsey could do was try to work to that upfield shoulder, but that's tough. He's playing inside leverage on it. The ball was perfectly thrown. It was a good route.
TCU takes advantage of good field position, and they have a 10-0 lead. The defense for SMU's played tremendous so far in the first half. You're talking about a team coming in TCU that averages 35 points a game.
And you know,
they got to get something from their offense.
Exactly. That's 31 snaps, if I remember correctly. 31 snaps that TCU has run. SMU's offense has only run 12, and they're playing keep away. I mean, they're just eating the clock up. And, you know, Coach Friend doesn't care how he gets what he calls the run of 12 yards or more of a pass or 16 or more. That was an explosive for 38 and a touchdown.
That was an explosive with an asterisk.
Yes.
It went for a touchdown. Cunningham, 7 yards deep, will put a knee down. Well, this week on Sunday Night Fights, former WBA super welterweight champion David Reed makes his middleweight debut against WBC International super welterweight champion Carino Garcia in a 10-round middleweight brawl between two top 10 contenders. The bell rings Sunday at 8 p.m. only on Fox Sports Net.
Guys throw some right hands there, don't they, Drew?
They sort of right
hand, boy.
Every once in a while, a headbutt.
I saw 2 big rights. That's
the shorter the distance, boy, the more power it packs, you know. Ooh, it's quick shots.
Yeah, they throw a lot more punches than the heavyweights do.
Yeah, they do.
McCown on first down. Now he'll run. He's a pretty good athlete. And at 215 pounds, he's not afraid to slug. TCU says the ball came out.
And they got it.
I'll tell you, that was
Fuller comes out of the pile, and they'll give the football to the Horned Frogs.
Well, you know, quarterback's got to worry about ball security in the pocket, and then when he gets out of pocket, got to put it away because you're going to get nailed.
They called him down.
Now they're going to change it, I believe. They're going to give it back to SMU and say his forward progress was stopped.
But how'd these guys, the rush line, bull rush, serious bull rush going on, and just standing there cool as a cucumber. I mean, that's some poise right there to have those mammoth bodies just flying by McCown. Yeah, they're saying he gets knocked backwards. Good call before the ball's ripped out of there. He's going backwards. He's in reverse.
Hey, that's what you like to see. Your defenders, the second and third guy in, try to rip that football out. You secure the tackle, the other guys rip it out.
Boy, Worthing, you talk about a bull rush. He had his man on a sled.
Briggs on second and short may have enough for the Mustangs' first down of the football game. I believe he has it. Here comes the Bronx cheer from the SMU faithful. First down.
You know that defense over there. It just gave a. Thank you.
The ball's out, but they're saying forward progress by McCown was stopped and he was going backwards. So the whistle was blowing because there was no more surge forward by McCown.
There's Worthen, 6'2", 305-pounder from San Antonio. He had the bull rush you were talking about.
Man, he's strong.
McCown had it blocked at the line of scrimmage. Might have been Schobel.
Worthen bull rushing in there again. This kid benches 530, squats 655 pounds. Power cleans 413 pounds. This Worthen.
That's the big numbers, really big numbers.
And when you taught you can't sack the quarterback, get your hands up. And Scoville does a good job of it. Gets the football knocked down. Boy, it's a horse.
They had a play there too. Freeman was open. They're attacking the backside of trips. I mean, they're going to the single receiver side. Scoville made a great play of getting his hands in the face of the quarterback.
McCown on a quarterback draw, nowhere to go except down. He's going to lose 3 or 4 yards. Donald Burrell in the football game for Worthen at a defensive tackle. Makes the play number 37. First 4 possessions for SMU have had a familiar ring to it. punt, 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 punt.
Yeah,
in 3 plays.
Drew, one thing that TCU does, and they do it very well, is that they rotate their defensive linemen. When you have that ability, that kind of depth, you're bringing fresh bodies. And offensive linemen say, man, I can't believe this guy has a clean white shirt on.
Right. The old defensive cha-cha, 1-2-3 punt.
SMU needs the 40. They throw it to Briggs, and he drops it. You don't see that much. Chris Briggs has good hands. 37 catches coming in. This time they got a first down and then went backwards 3 yards, and they will punt again.
Well, one thing about TCU's defensive football team that is true of most great defenses is team speed. TCU can really run, and it's tough to defend speed. It's tough to attack speed when the defensive football team has so much of it coming at you. It really is.
Yep. Badheim will punt it. Veal back at his own 35. TCU leading 10-0. Great effort by Vadheim. Nice. And again, tremendous coverage. One of the gunners getting downfield is Matt Rushbrook. Let's check in with Jim Knox.
Okay, thank you, Drew. Big day of college football right here on Fox Sports Net. Earlier this afternoon, it was East Carolina over Southern Mississippi by the score of 14-9. Then later in the day, Arizona State knocks off Arizona 30-17. Arizona State guys scored 24 points in that second half to win it. Drew?
All right, Jim, thank you. TCU will take on Southern Miss in the Mobile, Alabama Bowl, second consecutive year that TCU is headed to Alabama in the postseason. Last year, they knocked off East Carolina 28-14.
Southern Miss losing 2 in a row. They lost to UC, and then they lose today. Back-to-back weeks.
The Natty.
Cincinnati Bearcats, Rick Minner.
Tomlinson makes a great cut at the line of scrimmage and pirouettes ahead for about 5 or 6 yards in the grasp of Corey Riley.
You know, when a running back faces 8-man fronts, he is responsible for making one guy miss, and great running backs do. Right there, he made a defensive lineman miss with a little shake and bake. You know, he has great vision and balance, and you add that little shake to him. He reminds me a lot of Emmitt Smith in his younger day.
That's a good comparison, I think. You know, he might be a little bit stronger than Emmitt even in his younger day. But boy, I think that's a very good comparison.
Emmitt was pretty good yesterday until he got that big hit in the third quarter.
Boy, McDaniel laced him, didn't he?
Tomlinson. He's a competitive guy. You can see it. He wants to finish every run. First down yardage out to the 41 for Ladanian.
You know, the thing, blocking for a guy like that is a joy because as a lineman, all you feel you have to do is finish your block. There's a flag on the field. See what this penalty's about. Might be a hit after the play was blown dead. We'll see who gets the penalty yards against him here.
But taking him back.
Yeah, sustaining the block and giving LT just an opportunity to make his first move is imperative. And then he makes you a happy guy if you sustain your block.
We have a first down, then we have a dead ball, personal foul, which will be penalized. First down.
Boy, a late hit after the play stands, but there's a personal foul after the play on TCU. LT making it happen with the quick feet, the jackhammer feet. He gets taken to the turf.
Good thing, though, you see all them white helmets running around the football. They need to do that. They need to do that to control them. I think it may be frustrating because the big TCU linemen are coming up cleaning up piles. One guy came in a little late there.
Right.
Well, it was a first down, but after the walk-off, they're back at their own 26. Boundary option. And Tomlinson has the corner. Ladanian open field. He could take it the distance.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yep. See ya later. Ladanian, Tomlinson, no flags.
That's what the great ones do, Drew. You know, you stuff them 19 times, then the 20th time they take it to the house on you, and you never know. Every time he carries the football, you got to hold your breath because you never know which carry it's going to be that he finds his lane and takes advantage of it. Unbelievable play.
Yeah, it's just like Barry Sanders. You know, Barry Sanders led the league every year in minus yardage for carries, but guess what? Once a game, bam, he'd break one for you.
22 touchdowns rushing. Another rush of over 70 yards. I mean, this guy, there's all his family celebrating it. LT's final regular season game of his collegiate career, and he brought the family out in full force, and he he made them happy right there. Great vision.
And the extra point by Kalaki is there. LaDainian Tomlinson breaks loose. 74-yard touchdown, and TCU is ahead 17-zip.
Just a bit of magic. Oh, you gotta see it. So like the unexpected. White Dixie protected.
High-definition television, made possible by Panasonic.
Oh, just a bit of magic.
What's the matter, Ronnie? Masculine itching? How'd you know? When I experience masculine itching, I reach for Extra Strength Itch Stopper Plus. How does it work? When your body heats up, Ronnie, enzymes mixed with bacteria can cause unsightly discomfort. Boy, howdy. But with just 2 fingers of the patented oily balm applied to the affected area, you can...
TiVo. And skip the stuff you don't want to see. Learn more at TiVo.com.
You want a piece of me, Grandpa?
Just drive it right down the center. Right down the center with 1-800-CALL-ATT. Great for collect calls. But not so great for trash-talking rookies. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
Say it! 1-800-CALL-ATT.
Good boy.
You can't keep a good man down for too long. LaDainian Tomlinson finally breaks one on his 18th carry of the day.
Well, we're talking about the blocking. There's the receiver, James, on a linebacker. Bischoff, wide receiver on linebacker, sustaining the block. And Tomlinson takes advantage of that block, cuts it up inside, finds the cutback lane, and he's off to the races. Now, that's a matchup that, you know, when you can execute a decent block against a linebacker with a wideout, that's a pretty good job.
Yeah, you know, the one thing that might be a question, I mean a big question mark, as far as doubting it, is his speed. He has it seems to me he's breaking these runs over 70 yards. He had a 70-yarder last week, another one here, and nobody's caught him from behind yet. We talked earlier about football speed. And time speed. Well, it seems like he has a football speed to go the distance.
They're saying that he's been clocked in 4.34. That's plenty fast. I mean, there's no question that's plenty fast, but I think he carries his pads well, too. Some guys, you know, might be able to run a relay, an ankle leg of a relay. You put football pads on them, they can't run anymore. This guy, you put football pads on him, he at least maintains his speed, and, you know, maybe with the functional football speed, picks up a step on the field.
The guys in the NFL a little bit faster.
No doubt. Yeah. No doubt.
Chris, I know one thing you're impressed with. Not only is he thick-legged, he doesn't go down arm tackles, and he doesn't dance. If it's a 3-yard play, he's going to get his 3 yards, you know, and pop up and go to the huddle.
It is, and that's what will make him a valuable back in the NFL, because he can run inside and he can run outside. And the thing in the NFL is that holes open and close so quickly. Well, the biggest asset that I think he has, what I've seen so far of him in person tonight, is his vision and the ability to make a cut, and not a slow cut. It's a nice quick cut, and he's running upfield. His shoulders are upfield.
In and out of his cuts big time.
Cunningham from the goal line.
Ooh, nice.
Knocked off his feet.
Nice.
The 16-yard line.
Sorry, I get excited over those, Drew.
McDonald with a big pop right there.
Yes, sir.
LaMarcus McDonald, a linebacker,
yes,
no
sir.
less.
What else? And number 54. Oh, man. I think we have sound on this. That's it.
That's the contact we're talking about.
Hey, young man, that's what you're supposed to do. You know, get back to go ahead.
Here's some numbers for you guys. TCU has run 34 plays. They've gained 249 yards. SMU has run 17. Half the number of plays, they've gained 34 yards, 2 yards a play. That's why it's 17-zip right now.
That won't get it done against the 13th ranked team in the country. Briggs gets to the line of scrimmage, maybe. And again, we pay a visit with Jim Knox. Knoxy.
Okay, thanks, Drew. I tell you what, LT all smiles on the bench after that big run. And Victor Payne, the big offensive guard, walked over to him, slapped his hand on his shoulder pad and said, I told you you're going to break one. And by the way, you guys mentioned his family. For the first time in LT's playing career, his entire family on hand watching him tonight, and he really put on a show a little while ago.
Yes, he did. And patience. You know, he was getting stoned. He knows he's got great ability, patience, and it paid off for him.
McCown throws, and it's a little bit behind the tight end John Hampton, broken up by Charlie Owens, the weak safety.
And Drew, that's been the Achilles heel for McCown. 9 touchdown passes, 16 interceptions. He lost his job for a stretch during the season because of poor decision making and inaccurate throwing. And he came back and has started the last 2 weeks and has had only an interception each in the last 2 games, but you can't afford a giveaway now on your end of the field. There's no way.
Yeah, Hampton's a good football player. You got to get him the football. Coach Keck wants him to have the football. The offensive coordinator from SMU.
3rd and 10. They blitz. McCowan. And the pass is incomplete. He was trying to get it again to Billy Ford. Good coverage by Walls.
Yeah, Greg Walls had great coverage on there. He kept even with him, and I'll tell you what he does. This is one thing you want to teach young DBs to do. If you're a high school coach, if you're a junior high coach, if you're a Pee Wee football coach, when that ball's in the air, you want to look and lean. Notice how he's leaning in the receiver, using his body to knock the receiver off balance. As a corner, you read the receiver's eyes, his eyes go for the ball, you go for the ball, and you lean. You put your weight into that receiver, and you look.
He looked like Everson Walls on that one.
Pretty good player. Badheim, plenty of hang time. Veal.
Uh-oh.
And the ball's
got a halo.
Yeah, that's a halo violation.
Invasion.
Yeah, I hate that rule, too.
You don't like any rule
No,
against the defense.
Man, you can't wear a halo. You're a defensive player. Only Angels wear halos.
Yeah, no kidding, yeah. And when I snapped my neck, I had about 3 halos.
Yeah, really? You don't want those kind of halos.
No. No, the kind with the screws that go right into the temple.
Oh,
those aren't a lot of fun.
No, they aren't. I feel like Frankenstein.
Yeah, I was lucky, though. I got to wear the soft collar for about...
Halo violation. Penalty to 5 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Now, you're only allowed, you can't get in within a 2-yard radius of the return guy. And obviously, well within the 2-yard. Watch right here. Here's the guilty party. He collides with him before the football even hits the hand. So that one was a no-brainer. They had to give Veal the call on that one.
That's a 5-yard penalty?
Yeah, take that one?
I'd take that one every time.
Yeah, Briggs
make that punt return a little nervous back there.
Briggs said, I'll take the 5. Get you a little tight.
Flip side of the 50, 1st and 10 at the 47 for the Horned Frogs. They own a 17-0 lead, 4:16 left in the first half. Printers has a post route. And he delivered the football again to James.
That's a great executed play, what they did.
He faked the throwback to Dunbar.
Yeah.
Dunbar fakes the backward. Watch Dunbar. Watch what happened. Or that Dunbar breaks. That's the run on the post right there. Dunbar makes himself available as a throwback. They fake the throwback pass, then they throw the ball down the football field to Cedric James. But the key was the pump fake on the throwback pass.
Yeah, they set that up earlier when they threw the screen on that.
2 tight ends. Tomlinson, the single setback. Printers down the middle. Easy touchdown, Tim Maiden. He was all by himself.
Yeah, you know, that was a la St. Louis Rams right there, boys. That's the same type of offense, same type of routes that the St. Louis Rams run.
Now you got your running game going. You got your passing attack going. You got the SMU defensive football team that's very, very fatigued. They need the oxygen tanks, and everything's available to you. TCU's balanced offensively right now.
Yeah, Maiden came from all the way across the field.
Explosions. These aren't explosions. These are detonations. These are H-bombs being blown up right now. Big plays. Not 12, 16-yard plays. We're talking plays in the 70s and 30s and that kind of stuff.
Kalaki hooks it a little bit, but gets it through. 24-0. Printers has the right arm going, and LaDainian Tomlinson has the legs going. All TCU in Dallas.
You're about to see something special. Introducing the 2001 Buick Century Special Edition. Luxury, quality, the little buzz you get from driving it. The 2001 Century Special Edition is all that and less. $1,250 less right now. Make your neighbors jealous. Make your children proud. Come see something special. Come see your Buick dealer today.
Can you see yourself at McDonald's? We're doing everything we can to make sure you do.
We love to see you smile.
SMU is hanging in on defense, but TCU starting to flex their muscles here in the second quarter. They're up 24-0. Tim Maiden in the end zone for the third time this year.
Chris, what happens here? Broken coverage?
No, well, a little bit. What they did was they flooded the zone. Then they took the motion man. Maiden came around, brought him kind of hidden behind James, brought him all the way across the field. Again, it was a good read by Printers. Knows where to go with the football. And that, again, as I said before the break, that's a la St. Louis Rams. That's why the St. Louis Rams are able to do that. If you have time to throw that pattern, it's a very effective pattern because you get guys guessing and jumping all over the place. And people crossing in front of your face, and you got mass confusion back there, especially with a young, vulnerable secondary like SMU has.
Well, you go almost half a football field in 2 plays. That's an explosive offensive attack. We've said it more than once. SMU's defense is getting a little tired, guys.
They have to be on the field. Far too many snaps. Cunningham from the 4.
Oh, good pop.
They got a great offense, great defense, and superb special teams. Sunday on America's favorite pregame show, JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris are joined by weather girl Jillian Barbary, who tells you where it's hot and where it's not. Plus, our sarcastic sage, Jimmy Kimmel, makes his picks and gets in his licks on the boys. It's all part of the wildest NFL pregame show on television, Fox NFL Sunday. Sunday at noon, Eastern, 9 out west, only on Fox.
Guys, it's only getting a little uglier here. TCU 36 snaps for 297 yards. SMU 20 snaps for a mere 35 yards. So it's TCU starting to dominate action as we've spoken.
They give it to Briggs, and he runs between the tackles for a couple of yards. You know, so much of the conversation when you discuss TCU centers around LaDainian Tomlinson, and well, it should. But let's not forget, their defense is the #1 defense in college football, right, giving up less than 10 points a game.
And yards as well, only giving up 255 yards a game. And once again, defensively, 7 seniors, 3 juniors. Offensively, 7 seniors, 3 juniors. This is a football team that's played a lot of snaps together and make adjustments well.
That's what SMU lacks, experience. A lot of youngsters playing. Oh, big hit on a 2-yard gain. Greg Walls came up and handed out his business card to Billy Ford. Jim Knox again downstairs. Knoxy.
Okay, thanks, Drew. Don't forget to join Kevin Frazier, Artie Gigantino, and Kellen Winslow for the Nissan Halftime Report. On the Halftime Report, they will go over big-time scores and highlights from today's game. Also, a preview of tomorrow's big game between #1 Oklahoma against Oklahoma State. That's coming your way on the Nissan Halftime Report. Drew?
Thanks, Jim. And Kevin, of course, has another coach who resigned today, and he wouldn't tell us. So you have to hang in there. And
I can't even guess.
Take a guess?
I don't know. You got a guess?
Yeah, I do.
Who do you think?
3rd and 6, blitz coming. Freeman's out there, and he can't get to the football. A little bit behind him and over his head. Bo Springfield the coverage, and we sound redundant, but 3 and out for SMU. Again, they have 1 first down here in the first 28 minutes.
And you know, the Frogs are starting to smell blood too.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to come out, they're going to pound LaDainian, they're going to put another one up. They're going to try to get 31 on here before the half.
And SMU, I think, will vote the TCU the #1 defense in the land. I mean, they can't get an inch right now. It's tough sledding for them, to say the least.
Butter's kicking well.
He is. LeVar Beal again backing up to his 30. And they're covering well. And that's been the highlight, unfortunately, for SMU. Matt Rushbrook, his 2nd solo tackle on the punt coverage unit. Punt of 46, return of just 3.
You know, Matt Rushbrook's doing an excellent job. He's one-on-one out there in coverage on the punt, and you call those guys missiles, rockets, Hornets, whatever you want to call them. They're out there alone. They have to beat the one-on-one coverage. That's great coverage and good hustle. Good tackle, too.
When he made that tackle, a 43-yard net. I mean, that's almost half a football field on a kick like that. It's a decent field position swing.
Plenty of time. 2:04 to go. 24-0 TCU from their own 34. Option out of the gun. Tomlinson on the pitch. And that's a pretty good lick. Yeah, and a flag also came in. The tackle by Shane O'Neal.
Well, they come right back to the option. That's the one LaDainian broke. But again, when you're successfully defending the option,
I think one of the wideouts holding on the edge again.
Yeah, what you do is you make the Printers hold the football, make him make a choice.
Right. Brown the guilty party as he reached out and touched someone there on the perimeter, which no can do. Got to keep the hands inside the framework of the body.
The longer you make the quarterback run lateral, the more pursuit you're going to have on your defense.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from spot of the foul. Still first down.
Would have been interesting to see if TCU had run the table, if San Jose State had not pulled the upset, and TCU had run the table, where would they be? Would they be in the BCS mix? I guess we'll never know.
You know, we were talking to Carl Benson, the outstanding commissioner of the Western Athletic Conference, before the game, and they figured without the loss, TCU would have come in number 7 as Tomlinson dives and darts ahead across the 30 to the 32-yard line, got about 7 or 8. They would have been number 7 coming into tonight's football game.
You know, the thing that you like about Tomlinson right there, you know, you look and you say, oh, how pretty was that? Well, he picked up 8 yards. He's got a great lean. He never goes backwards. I mean, when he gets hit, he's always falling forward. He's got 5'11", 220. He's got the low center of gravity. It's like trying to tackle a quadricep and a pectoral. You know, there's no hitting surface.
He gets it again on 2nd and 12, gets a good block, and squirts for another 5. 72, Jeff Milliken leading the way.
And you know what, Tomlinson at 5'11", with that low center, he hides behind those big offensive linemen. TCU's got some big boys up front, and he hides behind them, and all of a sudden out he springs. Look at that, 2,127 yards rushing this season. That's outstanding.
It is. TCU in no apparent hurry. I'm a little surprised. They have a couple of timeouts. 3rd down and 6.
Maybe throwing a mercy rule on them here a little bit early.
10-run rule.
Maybe I'll put it up.
Printers, deep ball for Maiden.
Wow.
Inside the 20 to the 16-yard line. How about that throw?
Man, that ball comes off his hand nice. And he's got a very tight spiral, very catchable football. I mean, his football is very, very easy to grab.
48 yards. Now they'll call a timeout. 15 seconds left.
Again, he's got man-to-man coverage right here. And you know, you can see the SMU defensive linemen getting tired because they're not getting any push up the field.
Standing straight up, Chris. They're showing their chest, standing up and giving their chest up. Look at them just standing up.
Here you go. You got an outside move by Maiden. Now, what you have to do in order to defend that outside move, or if you're going to play bump coverage, Barrett needs to get his hands on him to impede the progress of the receiver up the field. If you're going to play bump, get your hands on him so he doesn't have a straight run up the field. Because you have no chance because you're starting in a backpedal. If you're going to bump, get your hands inside, jam him, mess up the timing of the route. He did none of those.
And once again, Printers, tremendous accuracy with the deep ball. I mean, he's thrown 2 balls, you know, 35 yards or more, you know, down the football field. In the air, you take consideration him taking the drop 50 yards in the air with tremendous accuracy. I mean, he's getting the ball down the football field in tight spots well.
How do these numbers grab you? 9 of 12, 145 yards and a couple of touchdowns.
That's pretty darn strong. That'll complement a running game, won't it?
What happened on those 3 incompletes? Come on.
He's falling off.
Come on, Casey, let's go.
He's only a sophomore. His senior year will be perfect.
That future looks bright for TCU at QB.
15 seconds left to see if they take a shot at the end zone. That's where they go, and they get a touchdown. Kevin Brown. His first touchdown of the year.
He's in a rhythm now. He's throwing darts. They're going to have to start hitting him. But I think, like we talked about, they're too tired to get there and put some licks on him. Printers, very comfortable, cozy, calm, composed in the pocket. And it's like 7-on-7 for him right now. There's no pass rush. You know, you do a drill in practice where it's just the shell people. There's no linemen involved. It's linebackers and secondary people covering backs and tight ends and receivers. And that's what it's like for Panthers right now. It's like 7-on-7, and he's just throwing darts. Printers. Strong effort.
He had a lot of giddy up on that throw. Chris Kalaki. 31-0 TCU. 4 touchdowns here in the second quarter. 10 seconds left before halftime.
With shopping on your MSN homepage, you can search, shop, and compare for televisions, cell phones, video cameras, or whatever else you need.
When it comes to giving you a choice of widths, most athletic shoe selection gets a little thin. But New Balance from Dick's Sporting Goods and dsports.com gives you a choice of up to 4 different widths, up to 46 different size width combinations for the ultimate in fit and comfort. And Dick's guarantees will have your size in stock on any advertised footwear. Or you get 20% off any other pair of shoes. New Balance from Dick's and dsports.com. We love sports as much as you do.
Casey Printers from DeSoto, Texas. He's 10 of 13, 3 touchdowns in the air, and he's hurt SMU with his legs also.
You know, the discouraging thing for SMU guys, TCU's defense has only given up 3 points in the third quarter all season long. They have not given up a touchdown all season long in the third quarter. They've outscored the opposition over 60 points to 3. So it doesn't look good for halftime adjustments.
Kalak, all pumped up. He just booted it halfway to Fort Worth. Here's a touchdown strike again to Kevin Brown.
Blitz pickup, Tom, look at LT right there. I mean, they're blocking, he does it all. He catches it, runs it, and that's a nice blitz pickup right there by LT. Giving his quarterback plenty of opportunity to catch up with Brown.
And Printers knew exactly where to go with the football.
He did. He had a great pre-snap read. He understood where the weakness of the coverage is. Brown was able to beat the coverage inside and throw a perfect strike. That's a skinny post.
Look at this, 374 yards to 39. Woo.
And for Josh McCown, he'll put a knee down. SMU will gladly head to the locker room. 31-0 at the break. The 13th ranked Horned Frogs showing the nation why they are number 13. They are good on both sides of the ball. Let's check in again with Jim Knox. Knoxy.
All right, thank you, Drew. Coach, you got to be extremely pleased. Defensive battle in the first quarter, but your club really opened it up in the second quarter. Did a nice job running the football, so mixing it with the pass.
Well, we got a little field position, and we got some balance in the offense, and LaDainian got going with the big run, and then Casey got going. He made some great throws, and we had some great catches.
Okay, thanks, Coach, for the time. Right now, let's head to your college football studios and join Kevin Frazier for the Nissan Halftime Report. Kevin?
Jim, thanks a lot. And boy, it was like we were watching 2 different ball games. Welcome inside our College Football Saturday studio in Los Angeles for the Nissan Halftime Report alongside Kellen Winslow and Artie Gigantino. I'm Kevin Frazier. And, you know, we expected the offensive explosion. We expected a big output from TCU, and finally it arrived in the second quarter, Kellen.
In the second quarter, they just went wild on SMU, throwing the ball down the field, and LaDainian got loose with a 74-yarder. You know, this is really rolling for TCU right now.
Yeah, and you know, you said it right, though. You know, what's happened here is TCU has finally found the passing attack. And when SMU puts 9 and 10 guys on the line of scrimmage, what happens? It opens up. And that's something TCU hasn't been able to do all year.
All right, so maybe a big second half from LaDainian and Tomlinson. We'll get to
Yeah,
that.
and
We'll get to that a little
TCU.
bit later.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the way, highlights from Arizona and Arizona State. The finish wasn't surprising. The aftermath was another coach has called it quits.
It's an age-old question. What exactly is a horned frog? Now that's a horned frog.
Introducing the Polaris Sportsman 500 HO with a new high-output engine and 20% more power. The world's best-selling automatic ATV just got better.
Check out the new edition of Billy Ball as the TCU Horned Frogs hit the floor this year for an exciting final season in the WAC. Season tickets start as low as $100, so reserve your seats today. Plus, your season ticket this year guarantees you a seat next season when the Frogs join college basketball's elite in Conference USA. Check out the Fast Break Frogs in Fort Worth. For ticket and schedule information, call the TCU ticket office at 817-257-FROG.
The best lineup of sport utilities. You'll find them at your Texas Ford dealer, where you'll also find exciting products like the newly redesigned Explorer Sport, the all-new Explorer Sport Track, and the Texas Size Excursion. Plus, for a limited time, you'll also find great low 09 financing, plus $1,500 cash back on Explorer, as well as low 09 financing on Expedition. For the best SUVs, get to Ford Outfitters at your Texas Ford dealer today and see why.
Ford is the best in Texas.
Welcome to McDonald's. May I make your order?
Ooh, he likes you, girl. Crispy chicken meal?
Any special way?
Ooh, he's making it special.
Our sandwiches are made hot, fresh, right to order, remember?
Right.
Chicken McGrill or crispy chicken. I made yours extra special.
We love to see you smile.
Hey, Keith, can you tell AC Green I'm ready when he is?
No.
The Keith Olbermann Evening News, Sundays at 10.
Welcome back to the College Football Saturday Nissan Halftime Report with Kevin Frazier, Kellen Winslow, and Artie Gigantino.
TCU explodes for 28 second quarter points. They lead 31-0 at the half, and boy, could SMU use that guy. Eric Dickerson being honored as the school retires his number. More scores and highlights. Game of the day, Colorado 9th-ranked Nebraska.
Craig Ghost is going to find John Minardi for the 20-yard touchdown. The Buffaloes are down by 1, and when you're down by 1, what do? You go for 2, and that's going to be Oaks hitting Javon Green. A great catch, held onto the ball. They take the lead 32-31, but Artie, yes, this is where they make the mistake. Kick the ball deep. Don't try to drive, kick the ball. Nebraska secures the ball, brings it back upfield for great field position. And then Kevin?
With only 5 seconds left, Gary Barnett knows he's in trouble. Josh Brown from 29 yards out. The emotion and the pictures tell the story. Colorado lets one slip away in a great game. Your final score, 34-32. Huskers knock off the Buffaloes and could sneak into the BCS with an at-large bid. Number 12, Texas, and 22nd ranked Texas A&M, Artie.
Chris Sims throws a 70-yard bomb to B.J. Johnson for the touchdown. That's a whole lot of rack. That would make it 38-17. Texas rolls over A&M, 43-17. And Kellen, who called that one?
You called it, Artie.
Yeah,
and
right.
of course, rack, run after catch. Chris Sims finishes with a career-high 383 yards. Longhorns at 9-2 are in line for the Holiday or Alamo Bowls. 24th ranked LSU stumbles against Arkansas, misses out on a share of the SEC West title. The Razorbacks are bowl eligible now. Earlier on the net, Arizona and Arizona State, Kellen.
Griffin Goodman, the holder, hands it off to Mike Barth, the kicker, who goes in 8 yards. If that looks familiar, sports fans, Dallas Cowboys used the same play to beat Cincinnati Bengals a couple of weeks ago.
So Arizona State wins 30-17, and Bruce Snyder gets the win in his final regular season game and will head to Hawaii for a bowl game. But of course, the big news after the game is Arizona coach Dick Tomey resigned after 14 seasons at the school. Afterwards, he said, I just told his, and when he was addressing his team, I just told them I didn't think I could continue because the public debate has become so difficult. You called this one, Artie.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of people this week and quite honestly saw this one coming. Dick Tomey's an outstanding coach, but I think he was going to get fired on Monday if he did not resign. Now, I don't know what Arizona's going to do, but that's a very good job, and it really hurts me to see a guy like Bruce Snyder and Dick Tomey go out at the same time.
At the same time, the last time they had a vacancy at both schools was in 1980 when they hired Larry Smith at Arizona and Darryl Rogers at Arizona State. But I look for both of these schools to go out and find young, aggressive coaches who are great recruiters and can bring in the talent.
Yeah. Let's not forget, there's a lot of money down in the desert.
Yeah, both places.
That's right. Still ahead, number 1 Oklahoma has a few things to take care of before they can begin to think about the Orange Bowl or a national championship. A preview of Saturday's game with Oklahoma State is up next.
Hi, I'm Rocky Thompson. I play the Senior PGA Tour. I chose Dr. Booth because of his experience. Over 10,000 procedures he's done. Dr. Booth is the single most relaxed human being I have ever met in my entire life. I would recommend the Booth Eye Care and Laser Center to anyone considering LASIK.
Why not give yourself the gift of clear vision?
Call 214-328-0444.
I am born and raised in De Leon, Texas. No Whataburgers. Bring it on. That's heavy. That's a big burger. Oh, man. A lot of cheese. A lot of pickles, a lot of cheese, a lot of cheese. I love cheese.
Great big burgers, 24 hours a day, always made to order.
Man, that's good. That's really good. Man, this is a really big burger. I mean, it takes 2 hands. I'd be scared to drive with this. It's too big. You know, this would be too big to drive with. I don't know.
Whataburger. Real food, real fresh for real folks since 1950.
Sacramento is set to step into the NBA's elite. Oh, my goodness! The Kings' dynamic duo battle Steve Francis and the Rockets. Tuesday at 7 on Fox Sports Net. The only place to see the nation's top team is on Fox Sports Net. #1 Oklahoma is in the driver's seat for the national championship.
Touchdown, Oklahoma!
Now, bitter rival Oklahoma State stands in their way.
Oh, what a hit!
Heisman frontrunner Josh Heupel powers the top-ranked Sooners, but the Cowboys are on to ruin their dream season. #1 Oklahoma battles Oklahoma State tomorrow on Fox Sports Net. Back to the College Football Saturday Nissan Halftime Report with Kevin Frazier, Kellen Winslow, and Artie Gigantino.
Big game here on the net tomorrow as #1 Oklahoma faces in-state rival Oklahoma State. Now, Sooners coach Bob Stoops refuses to look ahead to the Big 12 championship game or a possible berth in the Orange Bowl because right now he's focused on the Cowboys. Ron Thulin and James Lofton joined us earlier with more on tomorrow's game.
Thank you, Kevin. It will be a bittersweet day for the Oklahoma State Cowboys as they take on the Oklahoma Sooners tomorrow because it will be the last game for Oklahoma State head coach Bob Simmons, who resigned a couple of weeks ago. But Bob Simmons knows when you play the #1 team in the country, your margin of error is slim.
Be perfect. And when I say be perfect, Oklahoma's a fine football team. They've had a great season. It's a rival game for us. And what I've told our kids in the past, if they look at their history, we've won these ball games 3 out of 5 times. And the reason we won is because we played better.
James, obviously a lot of emotion in this game tomorrow, but can Oklahoma State pull it off?
You know, it's never easy going against #1. You talk about perfection, offense, defense, and they have to do something really special in the special teams area to win.
Well, kickoff tomorrow will be 3:30 Eastern time, and the weather is supposed to be good. Back to you, Kevin.
Guys, thanks a lot. Ron Thulin just asked James Lofton. I'm going to ask Kellen Winslow. Will Oklahoma stumble in this game?
So you want an expert opinion?
Obviously, thank you.
I'm sorry, James, about that. It would be a great story if Oklahoma State could rally and rise to the occasion and give Bob Simmons a victory against the #1 team in the nation as he leaves Oklahoma State. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think Bob Stoops already has his team focused on the prize, and they're going to go out and take care of business tomorrow.
They're in rhythm. They're on a hot streak, and things have gone very well for them. But when you talk about Oklahoma, everybody talks about Josh Heupel and the offense, but let's not forget about this defense. They're ranked 10th in the country. They've had 30 takeaways. And remember this, too. Bob Stoops is a defensive guy. His background is as a defensive coach, and it shows on this team. And what are you laughing about?
I'm laughing because you know what? Kellen and James are pretty close, so you better believe James Lofton will come back with something for Kellen tomorrow during that game. You know he will. You can catch the #1 Sooners and Oklahoma State tomorrow right here on Fox Sports Net. Ron Poulin, James Lofton, and Eric Clemens will bring you the 95th edition of this rivalry from Stillwater. Kickoff is set for 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Whoa, where are we? A truck stop in Texas. Do the words big rig ring a bell?
Texas? We made it! Now we can scratch Texas Lottery scratch game.
With more winning scratch games out there, it's no wonder everyone's itching to scratch.
Well, I find Texas Lottery scratch game to be just peachy.
It's the more prizes, more winners, and more fun that I like very much.
Yo, heads up.
Play Jingle Bucks today and you could win up to $100,000.
Oh, wait up!
Sunday Night Fights on Fox Sports Net. Witness the return of the American Dream, David Reed. Pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world. Boxing fury from a ringside seat. David Reed, Carino Garcia. Sunday Night Fights on Fox Sports Net.
These feet belong to Roger Camp, an extraordinary man who overcame a tremendous challenge. Roger is determined to lead an ordinary life, to perform the everyday tasks that you and I take for granted. So he won't miss a second of FoxSports.com, where he gets daily insights from John Madden and over 300 categories of real-time stats. It's like having the NFL on Fox online.
This month, get into great drama on Dish on Demand. In 1942, a team of American sailors find themselves on a disabled German U-boat. It's U-571. Then a retired lawyer defends a Marine colonel for actions he took during an uprising at an American embassy. Follow the rules of engagement. And a small group of survivors on an alien planet contend with a carnivorous monster that comes out in the dark. It's pitch black. Watch Channel 500 for movie previews and use your remote to order.
Love college hoops? Live for the sweet slam dunks, three-point plays? Get a ticket to basketball heaven. Order ESPN's pay-per-view full court, and you'll get over 450 extra games. The top schools, the biggest conferences, all the action you can handle. ESPN full court, maximum college basketball. To order, call 1-800-333-DISH. That's 1-800-333-3474.
NFL This Morning, Sunday at 10 on Fox Sports Net.
More scores to get to. East Carolina knocks off Southern Miss. The Golden Eagles are headed to the Mobile, Alabama Bowl to face TCU. Don Nehlen's final home game is a disaster as Pitt wins the backyard brawl. The Panthers' bowl destination still up in the air. Lavelle Edwards, his final game, BYU on Utah, Artie.
And quarterback Brandon Dolman rolls right and scores from 11 yards out. BYU gives Lavelle Edwards the big last win.
Huge win, and you see the love afterwards. Lavelle Edwards, his final game, and lots of folks sorry to see that guy go. Your final score, 34-27, so at least his team finishes his final season even at 6-6. And let's talk about right now two guys who go out really on their own terms, and that's Don Nehlen and Lavelle Edwards.
Well, Lavelle Edwards is the father of modern-day passing game in college football. This stoic man has done a great job, and the game of college football is better today because this man coached it for so long. He's truly an outstanding individual.
And Don Nehlen at West Virginia was a great evaluator of talent, always treated his players with respect and his coaches, and he'll be truly missed in the game of college
football. Both guys will.
Two guys.
Class guys, never had problems.
Exactly.
All right, meanwhile, after the break, it's back to Fort Worth, where Drew Goodman, Dave Lapham, and Chris Spielman are set to call the second half. TCU with an offensive explosion leads 31-0.
Los Angeles, 1962. The Cold War is hot, and a family is forced underground by the Big One. 35 years pass. Society has adapted. Can one misfit from another era find love in the 90s?
Stop staring at me.
Brendan Fraser, Alicia Silverstone, Blast from the Past. See it this month on the new Encore, part of the Stars Encore Super Pack. Call now to order.
Welcome to a special edition of Charlie Chat.
Welcome to the Charlie Chat. We're here at the world headquarters of the leader in sports, ESPN.
The Everything Pack is new. That's something that just came out, and again,
Additional discounts there.
That's a pretty big discount over our normal price.
If you're currently an AT150 subscriber, you're going to be able to get Odyssey at no additional charge.
Join us for the next Charlie Chat, Tuesday, December 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern on Channel 101.
All good.
Sundays mean adventure on OLN. When good days go bad, Wild Survival with Corbin Burnson reveals how in the outdoors you can sometimes get more than you bargained for. A swimmer is suddenly swept out to sea. A seriously injured hiker spends 2 days in a ravine. And a man must amputate his own arm. Ordinary people, extraordinary situations. Wild Survival with Corbin Burnson on Adventure Sundays, 8 p.m., only on the Outdoor Life Network.
Check out the new edition of Billy Ball as the TCU Horned Frogs hit the floor this year for an exciting final season in the WAC. Season tickets start as low as $100, so reserve your seats today. Plus, your season ticket this year guarantees you a seat next season when the Frogs join college basketball's elite in Conference USA. Check out the Fast Break Frogs in Fort Worth. For ticket and schedule information, call the TCU ticket office at 817-257-FROG.
Hey, Keith, you're gonna show bloopers? 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 You gonna show bloopers?
No.
The Keith Olbermann Evening News, Sundays at 10 on Fox Sports Net.
WAC Football on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Frost Bank. WAC Football on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by TCU Basketball.
Back as SMU takes on TCU, along with Chris Spielman and Dave Lapham. I'm Drew Goodman. We first talked about LaDainian Tomlinson at the beginning of the show. We put him in the back seat right now. We got to talk about the quarterback, Casey Printers.
Boy, Printers had an unbelievable football game. He rushed the ball for over 50 yards in the first half and threw it for over 160, including 3 touchdowns. Here's the biggest run that he had. 36 yards he carries his football, executing the option. They take LT away. He says, hey, if you're going to give me this running lane, I'll take advantage. Then the running game's established. He starts throwing the ball down the football field with tremendous accuracy. The deep ball, he was dropping the deep ball in there like he was walking down the football field and just saying, here, take it out of my hand. Of course, his guys were wide open because they're crowding the line of scrimmage trying to take the running game away from LT.
Pretty impressive sophomore, 6'3" and 205 pounds. Chris Spielman. Now we talk about LaDainian Tomlinson. It's not like he didn't have an impact in the first half.
No, he didn't. He's something special. And I'll tell you what, he took the option route into the short side of the field. Cedric James gets a nice block, and here you see the vision, the ability to make a cut. People miss, and guess what? He has the finishing speed. There was a little bit of question mark about his speed, but so far, nobody, all the games of film I watched, nobody has caught him from behind.
And there is LaDainian Tomlinson getting ready. We're set for the start of the third quarter, 31-0. The 13th ranked Horned Frogs leading SMU on the campus of SMU. Gerald J. Ford Stadium, brand new this season. Seats more than 32,000, 12 luxury boxes. Built this facility for a little more than $60 million. Great place for Mike Cavett to recruit to. Right now, he's got to produce some offense in the second half. Let's check in with Jim Knox. Knoxy, what do you have?
Okay, Drew, just got through talking to Mike Cavett, SMU head football coach. He said, here's how they're going to try to get back in this thing. They got to play together. They got to fight together. They're not going to get it all at one time, but they're going to try to whittle this thing down point by point and see what happens at the end.
Yeah, that's all you can do is try to win a quarter.
And he's made a change at quarterback. David Page is in there. He's a transfer. He's a sophomore from Brandon, Mississippi. Went to Hines Junior College. He has a couple of starts this year. And he hands to Chris Briggs. And Coach Gavin told us that he would go with whichever quarterback was productive. McCown got the start, 4 of 14 in the first half. So he's going to